Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. I can see.
Welcome to Master the Science of Business, WMSB Radio, where mastering the science of business is our business, because we know it's our time to shine, bringing to you live successful business owners from around the world, sharing best and worst business practices so that you and I can avoid the pitfalls that may lead to failure and benefit from the wisdom of their success. It's our time to shine, y'all. MasterTheScienceOfBusiness.com. Welcome to yet another Mind and Money Matters live show. You know, we are in a broadcast coming straight out of Master the Science of Business entities representing the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. And each and every month, we dedicate to one of the 9 ministries that was introduced to us or given to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan at the 10th anniversary of the Million Man March. And we come to you straight out of Message to the Black Man on page 173 to 175. Message to the Black Man on page 173 and 175 by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, where he gives us the economic blueprint. And one of the things that he instructs us to do is to pool our resources. You know, some of us call it cooperative economics, working together, you know, recognizing necessity for unity in group activities or group operations. That is what we do here at Mind and Money Matters live show. We want to bring to us representation from each of the 9 ministries, and on the 3rd or 3 of those days, those months that are left over after the 9 ministries, we dedicate to women in business, also to partnerships, to reiterate the whole idea of working together, pooling resources, and why am I forgetting one? Oh, we just finished it. The task force, the task force for finance. That's the one we just finished in the month of November. We are in December, and we are in the Ministry of Defense. Oh my God. When I tell you this one right here is action-packed. The research that I have been doing to prepare for this show, it was so exciting, you know, just to see all the plethora of business opportunities under the defense umbrella, you know, broadening our concept of what defense is. It's the physical, yes, it's the mental, the spiritual, the material, you know, it's business opportunities. Every single ministry or industry has a defense unit. You know, the defense team, in fact, the defense in the government of the United States, or probably any government that is successful, is going to be the largest in terms of its financial contribution to that and the manpower that actually operates it. So, you know, when we think about defense, I want us to broaden our mindset with regards to defense and think about all the different opportunities that are available in defense and the importance of having a defense unit. As we mention each and every week, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that without warfare, there is no business. So we know that we represent the science of business and bringing to us that science because we know that it has been kept from us. The science of warfare, the science of business, and the science of mating or birth control, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us in Message to the Black Man. He actually says, the science of warfare and the science of birth control. And the Honorable Ms. Louis Farrakhan teaches us that the science of business is, or that business is warfare. And we know that in mating, or birth control is also mating. And those are the areas where we are most deficit in our community. So inshallah, the information that we bring to you, or bring to you and I, that we will benefit from the wisdom of those who are actually engaging in the exchange of currency or energy, you know, within the practice of doing business and these various areas or entities or ministries or industries, however you care to look at them. But we hope, we're prayerful that we are able to benefit from the wisdom of their success and avoid the pitfalls as they share with us those things that they have triumphed over, trials and tribulations that they have triumphed over. So we're looking forward to an exciting show. I'm going to bring up our dear beloved co-host here at Master the Science of Business, Mind and Money Matters live show. We refer to him as the human GPS, the personnel organizer and trainer. He is that fact finder. He's the research team. He is the research team for Mind and Money Matters live show. He is that one that, you know, sends out all of the communications for the most part. He goes by the name of Mr. Communicator, you know, and Sister Sandy refers to him as the logo file. You know, that's the lover of words. So we encourage you, like, get your notepad. I'll show you my notepad each and every week. Well, you can't really see it because it's like green in color. And because it's green and I have a green screen behind me, you can't really see it. But, you know, the bottom line is I have a notepad and I take notes each and every show. But you can also use your electronic device, you know, by any means, you know, make sure you're recording anything that you're learning from whomever. You know, we can learn from anyone, and we're taught, of course, in here. That's one of the other points here is study the white man, for he is successful. He makes no excuses for his failures. He works hard, and we should do the same. So this is like our Bible right here. We make sure that we are governed by its instructions. All praises due to Allah. So without further ado, we're going to bring up our dear brother Jahi, Mr. Communicator Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Wa alaikum salam. Your mic sound nice.
Thank you to my erudite co-partner and co-host. One of the words. That's one of the words that we're gonna add to our vocabulary. Thank you all for tuning in. We are in the month of December. This is the month that we showcase the Ministry of Defense, and we thank all of you all for tuning in. We need you to do us a favor. All right, you're watching. Those of you that are watching, please hit the share button. If you're watching via Facebook, please hit the share button. If you're listening via the phone, please call someone else and let them know to tune in. This is a show you do not want to miss. We here at Mind and Money Matters are very excited about our guest today, and you know who it is, and we're going to introduce him momentarily. And as we start off every show every week, doing my segment, which is called Falah Worldwide, Word on the Street, number one, the latest issue of the Final Call newspaper. You must get this issue. This is volume number 38. Volume number 38, issue number 9. As you see that strong title there, Iran, Farrakhan, and the Truth. You must get this. I love this issue. I don't know if you've had a chance to peruse it, but on page 35 of this issue is an article, or first on page 29. We're going to start with page 29 first. Let's see, I had marked it. There you go. Page 29. Page 29, Sister Sharrieff, in this issue of the Final Call, there is the article written by Sister Kanetta Muhammad, right here from Muhammad Mas, number 15, who wrote the article on the dynamic event with our sister Barbara Muhammad. who we affectionately call the people's attorney in the Nation of Islam. There was a dynamic event that was held for her. She is a cancer survivor and holding up strong. She has done so much for our nation. She has literally helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people with her legal expertise, and she is the official co-host during the month of October on Mind and Money Matters, a live show. And as you in the picture, we see Sister Barbara, her husband, and her son, and also there's a picture with our illustrious guest tonight, Minister Abdul Sharrieff Muhammad is also in that picture, along with Brother Stanley and his wife, and Sister Betty Ali, who was the producer of that dynamic event. So you must read that article on page 29 of the Final Call, and also on page 35 of this issue of the Final Call is an interview with the student national spokesperson for the Nation of Islam and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Minister Ava Muhammad, Dr. Ava Muhammad, who was our special guest in the month of October when we highlighted the Ministry of Justice. So this issue has some dynamic articles in it. Of course, the article from Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the article from Minister Jabril, there's an article from Mother Tanetta Muhammad that you must read. I mean, just a plethora of information in the Final Call. Now, we have ways for you to get a hold of copies of the latest issue of the Final Call. So if you're here in the Atlanta area and you're close to the Bluff, you can stop by Blue Seas Express and get your latest copy of the Final Call. If you're on the south side of Atlanta, you can go to Cafe Ulu and get your copy of the Final Call. If you're on the east side of Atlanta, you can go to the Black Dot Cultural Center and Bookstore on Main Street in downtown Lithonia and get your copy of the Final Call newspaper. Okay, you're one of the millennials, so you into the electronic gadgetry. Guess what? You can go to Final Call Digital and subscribe to get your copy of the Final Call newspaper. This is a must for any of us that are engaged in the business of building up our communities, of enhancing ourselves and enhancing the people around us. You must, and I'm being very dogmatic about it, yes, you must obtain copies and read the Final Call newspaper. So those are some ways that you can obtain your Final Call newspaper. And also, this is the first of the month. You know what that means? Economicblueprint.org. Yes, economicblueprint.org. 5 cents a day, 35 cents a week, $1.40 a month. If 16 million of us as wage earners will make that contribution of 5 cents a day to the economicblueprint.org, that will give us in 1 year's time $291,200,000 that we use to buy land and buy the other resources that are needed in order for us to be a more viable and sustainable community. 5 cents a day. You know, I was watching TV a couple of nights ago, and in the middle of the night, they show these commercials. They want you to help save the seals in Antarctica. For $19 a month, you can save some seals in Antarctica. How many of you know what Antarctica is? Okay. How many really care that much about seals? But yet, to help ourselves as a viable, sustainable community, only 5 cents a day. Economicblueprint.org. So go there right now and make your 5 cents a day contribution, which comes out to 35 cents a week, or $1.40 a month, or $18.20 a year. Only $18.20 a year to put into this fund. And we know a lot of us can't afford to do that monthly. And if that is the case, please do that. Also, it's the holiday season. And I know some of you, you have people that are close to you, family members, probably children, grandchildren, somebody you know, they sleeping on your couch. They're not bringing no income in. They eat their food up in the refrigerator and things like that. Driving your
Like
car,
making zero contributions.
not making any contributions. So you want them to have a job? Guess what? We do have jobs available. Email us at atlantajobs2019@gmail.com. We have landscaping positions open. We have security positions open. We have retail positions open. We have coffee shops that are looking to hire people to help them out, especially during this time of the year. But most of them are part-time, but they can lead to full-time positions. Or you can call us at 404-438-3156 and leave a message and say, Jahi, I know somebody that needs a job, and we will help you out from that point. But we do have a plethora of opportunities available to help get that person up off your couch and start putting a little something on the light bill. Also, Mind and Money Matters Show is looking for part-time contributors for our program. We're about to go into 2019, and we got big plans, and we need to add to our already growing staff. So we're looking for producers, we're looking for graphic designers, and we're looking for sales reps. Producers, graphic designers, and sales reps for Mind and Money Matters live show. So again, you can call us at 404-438-3156. That's 404-438-3156, and leave a message to let us know which one of those opportunities that you are interested in pursuing. And as Sister Sharrieff said at the offset of the program, this is the month of December. We're showcasing the Ministry of Defense this month. The Ministry of Defense. And let's see. Oh, I need to pull this up. I want to read the definition or the perspective of defense. Oh, what did I do with it, Sister Sharrieff? I had everything earmarked. I had everything tagged, and now I don't see it. Or it's coming up slowly. So we can all be on an even. Okay, the Ministry of Defense ensures the safety, security, and survival of the society and its members, and develops policies and systems relating to the national security of the society, beginning with ensuring safe and decent local neighborhoods. It is also charged with enhancement and protection of military and intelligence assets, structures, and institutions. That is the purpose of the Ministry of Defense. And with our platform, Mind and Money Matters Live Show, which you all know is the definitive podcast for Black business bodaciousness, we are highlighting the businesses that you and I can, or even our current businesses, and how it ties into the Ministry of Defense, or how it can enhance the Ministry of Defense for our nation, as well as for other entities that you and I may be involved in. So we want you to keep that at the forefront of your mind as we have this lively discussion. So before we bring up our special guest this evening, let me reintroduce to some and present to most my illustrious co-host and business partner and master the science of business. As you all know, she's a very prolific author. She's the premier children's book author in our nation. She's working on a series that half of them will be out inshallah by Savior's Day. So get your coins ready to invest for your children and grandchildren and neighbors' children and any children that you know for that. She's an educator of over 20 years experience. She's a business owner. She's a publisher. She's a mother. She's a grandmother. I mean, just so many hats that she's wearing well, let me see, headpieces that she's wearing, wearing them well. Uh, from More Awareness Now, Uplifting Profitability, Sister Sharrieff Muhammad.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you so much, Brother Jahi. Just want to just reiterate to us, yes, Little Sweet Khadijah, I just, inshallah, the final draft will be coming real soon. I mean, this process takes like a lot longer than you expect, you know, but I don't feel too bad because I was reading up on, what is it, Red Table Talks with Jada Pinkett Smith, and I was so in awe of what I found out. I was like, wow, because I think the show platform and everything is so phenomenal. And I'm like, man, Jada's really doing this thing, and she is, you know, but then I realized, oh, this is not just Jada. It's like 5 high-powered executive producers. All of them are millionaires that put this show together. It's actually one of the first set of shows to be aired on the new network called Facebook Watch, which is a whole network, you know, and they have a budget of $50,000 to $70,000 a day. Now we're operating on far less than that, y'all. So, so as we start putting things together with our pennies, nickels, and dimes of myself, Brother Jahi, and Sister Sandy, you know, we can now understand why it's like, you know, such an arduous task to get these things done. But I am looking so forward to Little Sweet Khadijah, the kindness. Yes, she is the kindest. She is a princess. She makes all things sweet. She goes flowers and straight, nice, beautiful rolls, nice, pretty, and neat. And your little girls are going to absolutely love it and be inspired to go into business for themselves. This is actually the front of Little Sweet Khadijah's Cafe. She have a bike rack on the side and a drive-through window, and that's the drive-through. And, you know, so this is just to inspire our young people to go ahead and start their businesses right now. They don't have to wait. So if you have a child that has a dream, you know, just to help them to make it happen. That's who we are. So, Brother Jahi, I'm ready to keep moving, but I do want to make sure that we speak to our dear Sister Sandy Buford Muhammad. She will not be on the show today, and it's kind of ironic we're dealing with defense. I'm going to let her share with you what she's dealing with, but man, this is so appropriate that we cover this topic, defense. Sister Sandy Buford Muhammad is the proud owner and founder of Soul Wisdom International, and she puts on these events along with other sisters like Sister Allison, and Sister Allison. I have her card right here, or so I thought. Oh, here it is. I have Sister Allison's card, and it's called Sacred Love Goddesses. That's Sister Allison right there, Sacred Love Goddesses, and you can find her on Facebook as well. And Sister Kava, who has the Heaven in Me, and the 3 of them put on an event. I think it was last weekend. Was it last weekend, Brother Jay? I think it was last weekend, called The Heaven in Me.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was. Yes.
It was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I had such, and I'm not exaggerating, y'all. I had such a beautiful time. When you walk in the door, you are in heaven. All the fragrances that meet your smell senses, and then your sight senses, you know, the way they beautify the place. You know, there's nothing like the MGT putting their touch on something. And then the music that they have in the background. So whatever you were concerned about when you walked in that door, it was lifted away from you just from the entrance. And then after getting in there and seeing all the beautiful things that they had available, the food was delicious, the services that were, you know, there was a package deal for only $30. You can get like a snippet of 4 different services, and then there other things was a la carte, and so you can get all kinds of things from Reiki to running the bars to massages, sugar scrubs, and all kinds of things. And the day that I went was for families, so it was both brothers and sisters and children, or young people there who all benefited from. They had the family conciliation, and that was absolutely just phenomenal. The different experiences that people had that was able to get them up out of certain mindset locks that keep us stagnant. So I'm just excited, and I can't wait till Sister Sandy Buford Muhammad comes back. But in the meantime, her number is on the screen, so you can copy it down and you can get in touch with her through that number, or you can inbox her on Facebook. There's many ways. Her website is soulwisdomintl.com. That's soulwisdomintl.com, but you have the number, and I look forward to you letting them know that you got the information from me. All right, talk to you soon. All right, Brother Jahi, we are ready for you to bring up our guests.
Yes, and I see that the people are ready too. There he is, brothers and sisters.
There he is. There he is.
Let me do a formal introduction. First of all, I want to thank a few people for helping us spread the word. I know there was more, but the ones I was able to see preliminarily were Sister Karima Renee, Brother Hoyle Muhammad, Sister Latanya Jones, Brother Paul Muhammad, and Brother Adron X Robinson. Thank you all so much for helping us spread the word early by sharing this platform on your social media and letting the world know about our special guest tonight. I am so honored. We are so honored at Master of Science of Business's Mind and Money Matters live show to have such a dynamic guest on with us tonight. When we were thinking about guests for this platform, for this show, he definitely came in at the top. So for some of you that may not know, let me give you a little bit of history of our guest that I know. He came into the ranks of the Nation of Islam already a successful businessman. Owned a bodega and some other things in Washington area. There's some other things.
You talking about a bodega?
So we'll talk about,
it's a bodega.
that's what I say, bodega. Hey, I'm from Mississippi. We call it the corner store. We didn't know what a bodega was. We didn't call it corner, so we just went down to the store, or the candy lady's house. So this bodega.
Don't start talking about the candy store, Brother Jahi, because then you got to bring up some other history. Because we know about you in the candy store.
What's that now?
We know about you in the candy store.
Oh yeah, and I was the candy man too for about 5 years. I was the candy man. Old National Discount Mall, Old Nat L. Yes, absolutely. But our guest this evening came into the ranks, quickly became a leader within the ranks of the Nation of Islam, moving all the way up to the supreme captaincy of the Nation of Islam. That is an awesome responsibility, where he was responsible for the mental, physical, spiritual development of all the men in the Nation of Islam. I mean, only a few people can understand what that awesome responsibility means, working directly with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, responsible for his protection, responsible for the protection and the defense of the entire Nation of Islam. So in thinking about someone that we could interview during the Ministry of Defense Month, he definitely came in in a high position and someone we can talk to. Also want to keep in mind the business aspect of the Ministry of Defense, and he can speak to that as well, having owned a very thriving security agency based out of the nation's capital. So there's so much more that we can say about our good brother, who's now the student minister, the Southern Regional Minister representative for the Nation of Islam, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, which is another awesome responsibility with the spiritual, mental, physical development of all the believers within the states of Mississippi Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee. And I think we took a little piece of South Carolina, right? We took a little chunk of South Carolina. So he crisscrosses that area often. When I spoke to him yesterday to confirm, he was in Brunswick, Georgia, doing what he does, and that's spreading the word of Islam. So without any further delay, please hit that share button. Let everybody know. I see all of you all that are on. Please, you don't want them to miss. You don't want others to miss this. Plus, you want to get your pens and pads out. If you're old school like me, or you do it electronically, take your notes electronically. But be ready to do whatever it is that you have to do as we hear from our illustrious guest, Minister Abdul Sharrieff Muhammad. Salam alaikum, sir.
Salam.
Welcome back to Mind and Money Matters live show. As a matter of fact, Brother Sharrieff was one of our very first guests when we kicked off this platform in 2000. This coming up on a whole 3 years, Brother Sharrieff. So it was 2016 when we kicked off this platform. And you were one of our very first guests then. And also I forgot. He is the interim director for the 10,000 Fearless national interim director for 10,000 Fearless, which definitely falls up under the Ministry of Defense aspect. So, Brother Sharrieff, again, welcome to Mind and Money Matters live show.
Thank you so very much. It's an honor to be here. Thank you, Sister Sharrieff. Thank you all for allowing me to come on the airwaves. Thank you, listening audience.
We are greatly appreciative of you coming on, brother. Without question. I mean, the works that you have done and are doing in the community is an inspiration to us all. You are the reason why we stand. So may Allah continue to bless you.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you very much.
So, Brother Sharrieff, one of the first questions I have for you, just to give us a little bit of insight into the makeup that it takes for someone to be successful as you are and as you have been in various industries. Give us a little bit of background for those who may not know, a little bit of background of Minister Abdul Sharrieff Muhammad.
You're muted, Brother Jahi.
Okay, yes.
My makeup, I would say, is Georgia born.
Georgia.
Come up out of the backwoods of Brunswick, Georgia. I tell people, I used to live so far back in the country, they used to pump daylight back then. Coming up, raised up in the country, worked in the fields, farmers, grandfather owned. There's a land barrier. Right, as up to this very day, we own a lot of land. I just came from down here checking out. But working on the farm, that hot sun, for the makeup, and that hot sun, granddaddy didn't play. And we worked from sun up to sundown. And then we still had to go to church. Seemed like we had to go to church every day of the week. Lord. But we worked and still had to go to church. And basically, that's the background in which we were born and raised up, and very humble beginning. And when I met the Honorable Farrakhan, thank Allah, I met him. He called me to the palace early one morning when he brought me to Chicago. He told me, he said, some men are born, some men are raised, but he said, you were born to help me in this mission.
Praise be to Allah.
On the journey ever since, no matter what, keep working, striving to help our people, help our folks.
All praise is due to Allah. And Brother Sharrieff, you mentioned something critical, and be mindful, brothers and sisters, we're not just keeping it, but in the context of keeping in mind the Ministry of Defense, the business aspect of it. And one of the things I really admire in listening to Minister Sharrieff over the last 27 years that I've been a student of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's direction. When I came in, of course, Brother Sharrieff was the supreme captain. And to see you from the distance, you know, this young brother coming in, not understanding exactly what's going on, but seeing your movements and your interaction and things like that. The mindset that it takes, or the mindset that one has to develop for business in the business arena, and then maintaining that throughout the trials and the tribulations. Sister Sharrieff talks about that all the time. That's one of the things we want with this platform, to show us how to be resilient throughout, because everything is not going to be gravy.
Right.
I think that's one thing we got to understand. Everything is not going to be gravy. So when we do have those trials and tribulations, what are some things that we have to do in order to overcome and work through those trials and tribulations?
Well, one of the things I like to say with the Honorable Farrakhan, and I say to the listening audience, is that down is not out. Farrakhan told me down is preparation for up. Well, let me say that again. Down is not out. Down is preparation for up. And faith, though. See,
Come on now.
you have to have faith in God. Master Farrakhan Muhammad.
Oh, praise is due to Allah.
You have to do that. That way, when the winds blow, it don't blow you away. See, we all should be rooted in what we say we believe in.
Yes.
See, I'm going to say that again. We all should be rooted in what we say we believe in. If we say we are followers of Abdul Farrakhan, then we should be rooted in Islam. And no matter what happens, Abdul Farrakhan told me, he said, even in death, there's life. If you understand.
Mm-hmm.
And most of us, especially dealing economically, if we try something and it fails, we do for life. That's it. My career. I'm going to
That's such a good point. Like we got to defend ourselves against that. Yes.
See? And we got to understand. Do you know early on that most of all the millionaires that started off didn't finish high school? I'm going to say it again. Early on, most all the millionaires did not finish high school. But they was resilient, they was determined, and whatever craft they chose, they saw it all the way through, no matter what. Going back when I say, when we start a business and we fail, we do for life. Do you know there's other ethnic groups, and I would say especially the Jews, when they start our work for, starting early on, they'll close a business down today and open right next to the same business the next day. They do not give up. We're going to have to learn, no matter what happens, do not give up your dream.
Mm-hmm.
If you have failed, and you have failures, and you have hiccups, keep going. And sisters, especially with us, usually what happens, sisters, because you all want security, if we try and we fail, and that money get funny, you say, you better go get a job. See what I'm saying? That career right there, oh, no. But we have to be balanced and encourage the brothers. Whatever your dream is, pursue it. Even if you do have a job, don't give up your dream.
Give up your dream.
Don't give up your dream, no matter what. By the grace of God, I'm not letting nothing or anybody cause me to give my dream up. Don't care what happens. I am determined by the grace of God, by my example, all the good stuff. I think all of us, Abdul Farrakhan started rebuilding the nation when the first was gone. But look at him now. Because he was determined, because he had his faith. See? And I'm saying to all of us, man, we have to maintain our faith. And oftentimes what we do, Abdul Farrakhan told us this, we have allowed pain in our personal lives to undermine the very thing we say we believe in. Oh, I'm gonna say that again.
Yes, yes.
We have allowed pain in our personal life to undermine the very thing we say we believe in. So that's why oftentimes we easily give up.
Right. Easily
Easily
dissuade.
give up because of a little pain. And all the little Farrakhan told us, struggle is ordained by God.
That's right.
I'm gonna say it again. Struggle is ordained by God. And if you don't want to struggle, the only way to not struggle is not to be
not
born.
to be born, right?
It's not to be born.
Yes, sir.
See? And all that comes spiritually, and then economics comes up out of the spirit.
Beautiful. So, Brother Sharrieff, is there a thought process that you go through when you're about to embark upon a business venture? Do you have like an ABC step, or what is the process there? Because you've been very successful in a lot of different businesses and industries. So what is the process that you've gone through before you jump into that particular industry?
But I'm gonna be honest. It depends on which businesses I'm going. But the main thing I go is I have faith in myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First of all.
Yes,
And
sir.
when I embark on any business, I'm saying if I intend to do it, I'm taking it all away.
Okay.
I'm not going to start it and drop it.
Mhm.
No. I'm determined by the grace of God. Whatever I embark on, I make my mind up, I'm going after it. And any business, I don't care what it is. And right now, that's what I'm saying. And most people see, that's why, but Jaheed, don't you allow no negativity to come around you and your business.
Yes, sir.
Say, get ye behind me, Satan.
Yes,
because
sir.
all time when it comes to us, deal with us. When you want to open up a business, I guarantee you right now, if I brought 5 or 6 people around the table with us right here,
Yes.
and I said, we're going to open up I'm just hypothetical, we're going to open up an air business.
Okay. All right.
Somebody in that group will say, going to tell you and tell us how we can't do it.
It can't be done. Right.
See, and that person, I'm going to say, quick, no, dismiss yourself. Because there's nothing impossible.
That's right. That's right.
I don't care what it is. So I don't have that kind of people around me. I'm saying the win part. That's what right now. I intend by the grace of God. I'm saying it on your show.
All right.
Lucy's Express.
You hear it here first. Now listen up.
Lucy's Express. To go not only national, we're going international.
Come on now.
And as we speak, not going to go too far in there now. We're getting ready to open up a Lucy's in Jamaica.
Wow.
Our first international Lucy's. But many people say we can't be done. You're not going to.
That's what I'm talking about.
We getting ready to open 2 more Blue Seas, real close.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
gonna wait and make the announcement after it's over. Because you tell us that somebody.
But you heard it here.
That's right. That's right. But that's part of defense. So speak to that. That's defense.
But before you do that, to that point that you just made, for those that are listening and they're interested in becoming involved with Blue Seas Catering, how do they get in contact with you to get further information?
If anybody want to get in touch with me, I'll give you my number. Down 773-447-3205. Don't call me if you're not in no business now. Don't waste my time. If you're serious about business, dial that number.
Yes, sir. Y'all heard it.
447-3205.
Y'all heard it. Fantastic. Now, as Sister Sharrieff was asking, as we get into a little bit of what some of us understand about the ministry of defense. First of all, give us your involvement with the Ministry of Defense in the leadership positions that you have had and currently hold. What is an aspect of the Ministry of Defense that you see, and what is an aspect of it that you think that you see that a lot of us miss out on?
I'll say, first of all, let me say this. Abdul Farrakhan told us that business is warfare.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, notice every day is warfare. Now, everything, you got to have an army to protect whatever you acquire. And that's what we miss out on. We think we can just open up a little business and it's going to just take off with no security around the business. I don't care how small it is, how big it is, you're going to need it to be secure. And that's why we the minister told us also that, and I'm glad you have your that the 3 things that they're not going to teach
Yes,
us.
sir.
And
Yes, sir.
one of the things they're not going to teach us is the science of business.
That's right. We talk about that at the beginning of every show. Sister Sharrieff usually reads it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that in the doctrine or the papers at Howard University, that 3 things that they said they would not teach the black man.
And that's the original charter. And the original
The
charter.
original charter. The
Howard
original
University.
charter
That's right.
is the science of mating, the science of business, and the science of warfare.
Right.
Those 3 things.
Those 3 things.
Yes.
That's still to this very moment.
Mm-hmm. So when we, particularly, like we've been doing a lot of research, if you will, on the Ministry of Defense, particularly like the United States, because we're here in the United States. So looking at the United States Department of Defense, number one, it is the department, Brother Sharrieff, that spends the most money of any other agency within the United States government. They have a $717 billion a year budget. Yes, $717 billion a year budget. So number one, it shows us that just like the Honorable Minister Farrakhan teaches us, that business is warfare. So whatever you have to protect it. And the United States is willing to spend billions protecting what they have internally and abroad.
Right.
Yes, yes. So us understanding that mindset, as I think Sister Sharrieff would ask you the question about as establishing these businesses, what are some defense measures that we need to be aware of in general? Because we know every business is different, but for instance, this is what I'm thinking of. We've had this discussion. Chipotle, restaurant Chipotle was on this rise. I mean, they were the darling. And then something happened with the lettuce. They got brought back to other earth with the lettuce. Some are saying that was by design. It just didn't happen. Something happened to cause that. But that is part of the defense. They did not secure the lettuce and the tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So in our businesses, those are some things that we have to be aware of too with our properties, securing our properties, securing how the products are bought, how it's transported, all of those types of things. So that's an aspect of what we've been talking about. What do you think about those aspects of business?
Yes, that's very important, especially I'm saying Muslims.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good point.
Muslims,
Mm-hmm.
Some people get away with it a little longer than we do. But we'll go back forward to security. So notice now how the Honorable Elijah Muhammad set up all of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
All our properties, whether any of the mosque, study group, whatever, and all our meetings,
Mm-hmm.
we have a check receipt.
That's right. That's
and
right.
if you remember, a few years ago, you could have go to the airport. You didn't get checked.
Right. You should be late and run straight to the gate.
Right. And now people used to make mockery of the Muslims.
Sure did.
Because we was
Checking people. Mm-hmm.
Now you can't go nowhere without being checked.
Right.
Now we're getting a little pushback. We haven't had pushback from the churches, but now you see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now they beginning to look. Oh, we got to do security now. We
Right.
got to check.
Right.
See, so we got to secure everything that we get,
Mm-hmm.
especially knowing that business is warfare.
Yes.
We can't fall asleep again,
Right.
ever. And that's why you're going to have physical security, the cameras,
Mm-hmm.
you put the bars and all that kind of stuff up, but you got to stay always on alert.
Come on.
mentally.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
you said, mentioned with the food. You can't take for granted out and think that the enemy is not watching, waiting for a move. Look at what happened today, for instance, with the water.
Yes.
In the whole city.
Yes.
But we was already taught that we should have water
Stored up.
away.
That's right.
See?
Yes.
So when they say all water, that's no problem. We got water. That we don't have to boil. We got the water to pour in.
Right.
But everything that we get, we have to secure with a military type mind. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, business is
Warfare. Okay.
So that's what we was taught and being taught. And we have to keep that on our mind and at the forefront, no matter what you do. And you, especially the way you do it, you're going to have to secure yours.
Yes, sir.
See, no matter what we do, secure what we have.
Mm-hmm.
See? And that's my teaching.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. You know, I was thinking as you were talking about that as well, a couple of things I've been wanting to ask you about. And you all can tell I'm very excited about our guests. Two things. I'll share this with Sister Shireen because I don't know if she had ever heard it. But I heard you speak. I only heard you speak on this, I think, one or two times. Minister Sharrieff was the Supreme Captain during the dynamic Million Man March. You talked about having to give a briefing before 200 or 300 different branches, security branches of the United States government.
That's true.
I mean, y'all think about that, y'all. See, these are things that, you know, I may be on a soapbox here for a minute because I'm thinking about those people that want to say negative things against the minister and against the nation, but the United States government respected him enough to inform all of these agents. Number one, who knew there were 300 plus security agencies in the United States? Number one. But they brought them all together and you addressed them.
Yes. And now you put think about that now. Why did they come? Ministers having a march, right? I guarantee Martin Luther King had a march and everybody had a march. They never had that many security agencies come together about a month.
Right.
And they were serious. And I say together, a lot of people don't believe the ministers have serious. They had tanks underground at the National Guard office, ready to move if black people had cut up that gate. And that's why I know God was with Dr. Farrakhan in that march from the beginning to the end. But those security personnel, wherever they may have gone back to their different places, they remember the nation.
That's right.
The most disciplined, well organized people on the planet. To pull the God allowed to pull that march up under the leadership of Dr. Farrakhan. And not one incident.
Not one incident.
Not one.
Not one. Yes.
And most people don't know now, and still don't know this. There was a death that took place at the Capitol, inside, with one of the security persons.
Really?
That was being rude.
Wow. No, I had never heard that.
That was being rude to us in the Capitol. And he had a heart attack inside the Capitol.
Wow.
You don't hear nothing about that, but that's real. But,
wow.
And just say this part right here. When we went and met with the Capitol Police, they told us when we met with them that in the front of the Capitol, where you saw all our brothers, they was kind of rude to us when we first met with them. And the men not gonna be able to stand here. They're not gonna be allowed on the grass and all up on the Capitol. You know, I say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just agree with you. Because I already knew.
Right. What they gonna do? Right.
And first, if you go back and get the video, Capitol Police was in front of the Capitol at the earth, lined up.
Okay.
And when that sea of black men,
that sea just kept coming and coming
and coming. Hemmed up against the wall. Now the captain, God is my witness. The captain of the Capitol Police came to me. Captain Sharrieff, I need you to help me get my men out of there. I said, no problem. And I said, I got one of the captains, one of our captains, police out of there. He just called me to attention, pulled them all out there, brought them up on the step with him. Watch this, God is my witness. That captain got his men out. Came up to me and saluted me.
Oh, praise
and said, it's all yours, Captain. This is real. And he said to me, if you know, you ain't see him no more. All you see them up on the roof. They didn't come down.
Right. They didn't come down. Right.
See, they was determined that this would never happen again. They lost total control.
Total control.
And it was given to Nation of Islam.
That's right.
That's real.
That's right.
And that was a business affair that we was
Mhm.
handling,
Mhm.
and it was warfare.
It was.
But God,
It was.
through the leadership of
It absolutely was. Nothing like that has ever happened, especially with black people. And you remember afterwards, because of people's egos were involved, they were talking about they were supposed to do some of the pastors were supposed to get together and do a march. It never came about because they began to see the gravity of what happened, and they didn't have what it takes to do that. But that was definitely, and speaking to that piece about it it was a war. It was a war move. It was a defense move. Prior to the Million Man March, there was an article in one of the papers in New York. One of the columnists wrote, and I've been trying to find this article, can't find it, but I remember what he wrote. He said, if Minister Farrakhan, he didn't say minister, he's being derogatory, he was a Jewish writer. If Farrakhan get 50,000 people, we'll be surprised. If he get 100,000, he will be a force to be reckoned with. That's what this guy wrote. He's writing for his handlers, because he just, the mouthpiece that it comes out of. So even using their numbers of 400,000, that's 4 times as many as they said it would take for him to be a force to be reckoned with. So add it up basically. Just look at the mathematics of it all, and those types of movements. So let's back up a little bit with your involvement in the Ministry of Defense, or in the defense area. You were the owner of a very successful security agency in the Washington, D.C. area. You mind giving those who may not be familiar with that history, a little history of that?
Oh, yeah. We started off with the name Dope Busters, and then ended up with NOI Security. That's what happened. And it all started in Mayfair Mansion. Honorable Farrakhan gave us permission. But what would happen is, there was the largest open-air drug market in Washington, D.C. It was in Mayfair Mansion and Paradise Manor. And the mosque was about 3 or 4 blocks up. And we would go sell our Found Call in that area. And when we go in to sell our Found Call newspaper, all the drugs stopped. They disappeared. They went away. And then when we leave to go back to the mosque, they come back out and continue. So the manager of the complex came one day to the mosque. And I happened to be there when he did. He said, look, I notice every time you all come down to the property, the drug dealers leave. And then when you all leave, they come back. And he said, what is it that we can do to get you all to have a permanent stand here, so we want to keep them out? And that's the beginning of the Dope Busters and NOI Security. We went in, the minister gave us permission that we could go in, and went in, and first day, if you see Joe John right now on CNN, that's how he got that spot on for us. The work we did Mayfair.
Is that right?
Yeah, most people don't know that.
Wow.
Yes, because if you go back, everything's up with you. We went in that morning. We didn't call no press. We didn't do none of that. We went in just to do the work. And somebody called the press. And Joe John was one of the ones.
Okay.
And what happened, one of the drug dealers out there came out with a shot-off shotgun when we came in. And if you go back, you'll find the smallest brother that was with us. And shot him. And then the next brother came, we call him the body slam. He took both of them and slammed it down. We took the shotgun from him. Police coming, everything, history made. And Georgia, I don't know, I still don't know to this very day. How did they know we were going in? And Joe John was running with the video camera.
I filmed it.
The filming. But we didn't know at the time that they had locked. There was video DVDs at that time.
Right.
They locked them in. And he was running with the story, and something happened. I'm gonna say something happened, and he ended up on the ground with his camera. And somebody was trying to
Take it out, but it was locked.
But it was locked.
Uh-huh.
And he got a little bruised up. And when he got back down, he went back to the station, and then his Jewish handlers of the store told him to press charges against us. Now we out there with a shotgun against us. And this man won't press charges because he's trying to get a store. But God prevailed, we prevailed through.
All
and
praises
got him out
to
the way.
Allah.
And we became one of the largest security firms in this country.
Wow. Wow.
I say it again. NY Security became one of the largest security firms in this country. And our enemy that hate the minister in the nation of Islam, the Jews,
Mm-hmm.
this is the fact,
Mm-hmm.
moved on us.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't get us because everything we had lined up was right and exact.
Okay.
So they did something that had never been done before in the annals of history. They moved on Congress to subpoena us to come, a security company.
Mm-hmm.
First thing they said, well,
Mm.
a security company come before Congress.
Mm.
The history. You can go on C-SPAN too right now. Pull it
Yes,
up.
sir.
The whole hearing.
Okay.
And they subpoenaed us to come to before Congress. They said that was been done before. And they brought in the top Jews that the minister told them, come on out now.
Yes,
out of New York.
yes.
3 of them came down to Congress when we had the hearing. They pulled out special chairs for them to sit up.
Wow. Wow.
This is real, man.
Business is
It's
warfare.
And they, before we left for Chicago, the minister told us that. Saying you all handle this. But this was world news. He said, now if you all can't handle it, I will come out.
Okay.
But
Okay.
now with that pressure on the back, Brother Art, Brother Leonard, Celine, Aline, all of them.
Okay.
If you go see it, they did a superb job.
Beautiful.
And God bless us. We won. The case.
All praise is due to
They
Allah.
were angry with us, but we won. It's in the Library of Congress right now. All that.
Mhm.
But Jews will never give up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they did? I saw an article last night. But what they did, we had a contract with Holiday Inn,
Mm-hmm.
and they just was getting ready to give us all the Holiday Inn.
Mm.
We had a contract with Federal Express. They built one of their headquarters in D.C. We was with them when they dug it in the ground. We had the security,
Mhm.
and they gave it to us. They said, "Look, when they come up, we'll give it to you for the and they was gonna give us more Federal Express buildings."
Wow.
They got so angry with us because we beat them in the court.
Uh-huh.
They went to Holiday Inn.
Wow.
Holiday Inn, the manager told us he was the best security we ever had. He said, "But Mr. Humphrey, I'm gonna have to let you go."
Wow.
I said, "Why?" He told me. He said, "The Jews." That's what he told
That's
me.
what he said.
He told me. He said, "The Jews told me they believe in prayer."
Yeah. Well, that's one of their tactics. Yeah. They.
If you don't dismiss them, we'll put all our conventions and all your hotels.
Check that out. Check that
That's
out. Listen to that.
real.
That was the threat. All of their conventions.
Yes, they went to Federal Express.
Mhm.
Federal Express, the same thing. Federal Express called me in the office.
Mm.
Mom, y'all got the best security force, but I gotta let you know.
Mm.
So we beat them in the courts, but they went. In the
They went
streets
to
and
the people,
vendors
went to their
and threatened
vendors
them.
that they have control over.
And told them
and
they had to
threatened.
let us.
Wow. So that's how they break
That's
apart
how they
a
break-
business.
See, warfare.
Warfare. So it's like what the minister tells us about the dealings that the nation had with certain companies, and they get the phone call.
Call.
You got to take your money. You got to give him his money back.
Back.
Now,
That's
what bank does that?
But it's real.
What bank does that?
That goes to show you how people not free,
Yes.
rich.
And the
Slave.
inordinate control that some other people have.
over.
And when these things are brought out, now
They ain't
we're
gonna-
going to be labeled, and I'm sure they're going to be watching, we're going to be labeled anti-Semitic now.
But I'm waiting for that great name. I want what you're waiting on. I feel left out. Because you got some of the best, and they have a label that. Label me. I'm waiting for
Right. When you got the documented proof
I have
of what
actual
has
facts
happened.
of what they have done and still continue to do.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir. Wow.
Business is warfare.
Yes.
And that's real.
So, based on those experiences, and this, I'm glad you brought that up. Wow, that is interesting. And we're talking about defense. So, understanding those historical moves that have been made. What are some things that we can begin to do now that we know these things, so that when that happens again, we're more prepared for it? And because now we understand, you beat them in one arena, but they're just one.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, as you mentioned earlier, you gotta look at all angles. You gotta have all angles. Yes, in warfare, you don't fight this on one front.
Right.
You got several fronts. And knowing that's why it's sending reconnaissance.
That's right.
So you'll know how many fronts that you're dealing with, and you place people on all those fronts. So dealing in business, what are some things that we can begin to do, especially since, like, on this platform, we promote Black businesses. As you all can see, we're at the beautiful Blue Seas Express in Atlanta, Georgia. We promote Black businesses, and we encourage Black business building and Black entrepreneurship. So that in itself is a stigma for a lot of people. And we understand that. But what are some things that we can do so that we can be more mentally prepared as well as physically prepared to meet these challenges that will arise?
One thing, I love the fact of what you do.
Oh, praise be to Allah.
Educate.
Okay.
See, and that's one of the main things we have to do, educate our people. And we can't be thin-skinned. Because when we open up a business, some of our people just not gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
They just think that the white man ice is colder than ours.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that, don't get offended. We gotta educate our people.
Yes.
That's just what we have to do. And I would say to the listening audience, I want you all to please keep supporting Jaheed and his staff in this, because the education is so important on business. Because that's one thing we find, that most of our people, we don't have businesses. We compared to what they have.
Right.
So compared to them, it's like we don't have any business.
Right.
Although we do have some.
Yes.
But we need the support of our brothers and sisters. And if you all will support the Black business that we have, and that's why I say again, Brother Jaheed and staff, keep promoting what you're doing.
Oh,
it's
praise
so
Allah.
important for our people and our young people to see what you are doing. It's so necessary.
Yes, sir.
See? And that's what the strategy that we use now is that when you look around, you see them just pop open. We don't do a whole lot of talking.
Gotcha. Yes. Yes.
That's the strategy we use. That's why I say, I'm going to open up in Jamaica. Nobody know. We can really open up one across town in a few days. I don't know where. It's going to shout.
Yes.
Because now, when we open, we're ready.
Right.
So whatever the wind blows, we're ready.
I like that, because that's also a strategy. And I've been saying this a while. Sometimes we do talk too much.
Right.
So you lay the groundwork, you do it, and then so that way the enemy doesn't have time to get out in front of you, because they don't know what's going on.
Right.
By the time they find out, bam,
It's too late.
it's up. Right. It's up.
The Million Man Market did 2 years in advance.
That's right. That's right.
And so by the time he got ready to come up with the Million Man Market, it was too late.
It was too late. Right.
And then
right.
no major newspaper doing nothing.
That's right.
That's how it is for our business. We don't have to do it. That's why your shows and the shows like the social media now, it really helps small business.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Well, a quick point, and I want to bring Sister Sharrieff in, because I know she has a whole lot of questions that she wants to ask. But to the point that Minister Sharrieff was just making about when we support each other. At the outset, you heard me talk about we have jobs available. 80% of those companies that we have on our list that are hiring are companies that we support, that support us, their business is thriving, and now they need help. So that's what happens when we support each other. And we do, contrary to popular belief, we do support each other. We just have to, among ourselves, let people know that we do it.
Right.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to be in business as we are for so long, and to be doing the things that we're able to do. Now we just got to let people know that there are places out here and there are people out here that do support other black business. And I said this last week, and I want to say it. It's going to be a mantra of ours. If there's the business that you're supporting, the black-owned businesses, and they may not live up to some expectation that you have that one time you go in, don't stop going. Let the person in charge know, and so they can have the opportunity to correct it. I did that just recently with one of the businesses that I support. Walked in, things weren't quite right. I pulled the manager to the side, like, brother, you need to check on that. He immediately moved on it and handled it. You know, I'm like, oh man, going back there. No, that's not how we do things. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad talks about that in Message to the Black Man about stopping wanton criticism. Yes, absolutely. So, Sister Sharrieff, I know you have a list of questions there for Minister Sharrieff.
Well, what I do have is I wanted to respond and get your response, but I wanted to respond to what you shared about how they how they got the hotel to withdraw the contract, right? By threatening to remove their economic base, you know, their support for that business, right? So this is justice or else. This is what we're saying, right? We're saying down with Santa, up with Jesus, right? Up with Jesus, down with Santa. And so in this season, we're saying take our resources, our funds, and remove it, because this is what they pay attention to. If there was enough of us, and this is one of the reasons why I love to do this show, is because I want to inspire us to go into business and to get to the point that we have that strong economic base where we can say, if you remove us, we're going to remove our businesses from you.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is what Martin Luther King was talking about. I just looked at a documentary, or not even a documentary. It was an interview. Was it an interview, Brother Jahi? Of
Reverend Hosea Williams.
Hosea Williams.
Oh,
he was talking about what Dr. Martin Luther King told them, what was going to happen to them as a team once he was gone. Because Dr. Martin Luther King knew that they was after him and that he was going to be out of there. So he said, when I leave, they're going to come after you individually and offer you something to take you off course, in short. And pretty much they all went off course.
Yes.
Right. So we are inspiring us to go into business for ourselves and to grow in those businesses and get strong, and then use that leverage as a united front, as Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is encouraging us to do with justice or else, and say, if you don't support our brother, we won't support you. Yeah. And it's enough of us to do that.
That's right.
We just have to remove the fear and unite. That's right? You see what I'm saying? You will remove the fear and unite and say on the united front, because one of the things that they have is an association for everything. So in order to be a part or licensed or recognized in any industry or any organization, any group, whatever, you have to be a part of this association. And as a part of this association, you get a little certificate. You are a member of the such and such. You pay your annual dues or monthly dues. And then you have the support of that body, which is a unified front. So why can't we do that?
And we can. We just have to keep doing what you all are doing. That's why I say what you all are doing is so important. Don't stop. No matter what happens, keep doing good. That's what the minister instructed me to do. No matter what happens, he said, keep doing good. And that's what you all are doing. That's good.
All praise is due to Allah. Thank you for that. For those that are watching, speaking of the business is warfare, Sister Sharrieff, Facebook have blocked me from sharing.
You shared too many times.
I only shared it in 3 groups. I usually do 100 groups. I only shared it in 3. And now they restricted me to Thursday. So We're gonna need all of y'all that's watching right now to hit the share button so
At
this
least one time.
dynamic information at least one time. Yeah, if everybody did it just one time, right? But that's so interesting. This is the first time they ever blocked me during the show from sharing. It's
Wow.
usually after.
Well, the topic is very serious. But you know, I always say this.
Look how frightened they are. And that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
What you want
Yes.
to do is more important.
Yes.
Don't play yourself,
See,
chief.
thank you for that. You're right.
Remember
You're
the
right.
minister said now, the greater your enemy is, that lets you know how powerful you are.
Mhm.
That's right.
Fuck you. Look. I'm not gonna say it. I believe you.
No, we blocked now,
No,
so.
no. It's all good. I look at it like this too, because we're taught in Message to the Black Man, right, to study the white man, right? This is what he does. This is how he defends himself.
Right.
You know, so how he defends his interests. We need to do the same. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, we have an organization, association, or what have you. We have to protect it in that regard. You know, so when we talk about defense, to me, it's about also understanding what kind of business opportunities are there. As you mentioned earlier, to defend your business, you have to be able to defend it. You have to set up certain types of securities. Physical security is one, mental security, spiritual security, you know, material security, you know, it's all different types, cyber security, you know, to protect your home, your space. It's all different types of securities, and we have Black businesses that are out there, you know, that are offering these services, and we're encouraging many more to get in the game and strengthen yourself in that area. Some of us, like you said, are born to be, you know, the defense team, be a part of the defense team. So let's take it to the next level. So we don't have to go to our open enemy for defense needs, because we have needs in many different areas or aspects of our lives. So the fact that they do that gives us a lesson to learn from. That's how I look at it.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, like, you know, you think Facebook is just, oh, it's just fun and everybody can just go ahead and share whatever. You know, if we was talking filth, the gates would be open and we would be able to share as many times as we want. But since we're talking something that's going to uplift, they have to first examine what we're saying and see whether or not it's okay to pass it along through the airwaves.
You don't want this truth to get out, but they can't stop it. This truth is marching on.
Exactly. It just makes the Underground Railroad that much stronger.
Right.
That much more stronger. Yes.
Right, and what I see goes back to the point that we started out talking about. Minister Sharrieff dealt with being resilient. A couple of things. We got to understand that this is not our medium. So now we have to build. It gives us the creative energy to build our own platform. Right. Not relying on their platform. And also, I want to throw this in here because we are talking about defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of these social media organizations, part of their revenue stream is the Department of Defense. The Pentagon is the large, and I heard, for those that need verification, I heard a white dude say this. The Pentagon, a credible white guy too. He said the Pentagon is the largest venture capitalist in America. All of you are familiar with the company Oracle, right? Oracle is like the second largest. Well, it may be larger than Google, but all of us know Google. Everybody Googles. But Oracle is another a search engine company. It's like the second largest, probably the second largest in the United States. But Oracle got their initial funding from the CIA. The guy Larry Ellison, who's like the 5th richest person in America, worth about $40 billion. He had a company that did the database for the CIA. He called the database Oracle. And then after so many years, he changed the name of the company to Oracle. But they got their initial funding from the Department of Defense. And what this particular guy was saying, all of these companies have gotten their startup money from the Department of Defense. So let's just be mindful, because one of the things that we're given in the definition or the function of the Ministry of Defense is about protecting our military and intelligence assets.
Right.
So this is like one of those things. So I know one of the points that Sister Sharrieff wants to make with this program this month, Brother Sharrieff, and we definitely love your help in doing this, is identifying as many areas as we can for the listeners to understand how they can contribute business-wise to the Ministry of Defense. So what we've understood is that every business basically contribute to the Ministry of Defense, because you need everything in order to secure your defenses. It's not just the physical protection, as you mentioned, the electronics, the cameras, the security, you got the IT, and I'm looking at this budget. You got medical, you got facilities, you have even professional services like being legal services, management services, educational services, real estate services. So from what we can deduce, you got to buy paper,
Right.
you got to buy ink pens, you got to buy food because you got to eat, you got to feed the people. So all of these are aspects. So what we want to do is help us, our listeners, those who are listening to this, understand how they can contribute to the ministry, especially, now I want to tie this point in. You are the interim national director for the 10,000 Fearless. And that's part of the program. For those who may not be familiar, in 2015, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan at Justice Else March in D.C. talked about all of us going back and making our communities a decent and safe place to live. That requires resources. It requires business-oriented resources to do those things. So from that position, Minister Sharrieff, what are some of the needs that the 10,000 Fearless has?
Well, right now we have our headquarters at 801 Joseph Boone Boulevard. We have our 10,000 Fearless men and women here. We need financial support, number one, for the services that we render. We feed people every day and night from the headquarters, but especially on Tuesday and Thursdays, our biggest day.
Okay.
When we feed to the community.
Okay.
Not only food, but we give clothes.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes. I've seen that.
And we are resource center.
Mm-hmm.
When people come, we can tell them where to go to get help and get their needs served.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
So we need financial help, at the 10,000 Fearless. And we're asking people that they could call if they want to make a phone call.
Yes.
Call.
All right, write this down, y'all. Write this number down.
Blue Seas Express, they can call. For Blue Seas Express, they can call 404-330-8818. 404-330-8818. If they want to help with the Blue Seas or help with us at the 10,000 Fearless.
Okay.
And if they want to bring their clothes to the cleaner, we have a cleaner.
That's right. All right.
They can come 1519 Pryor Road, Atlanta, Georgia. The phone number there, 404-635-9000. 404-635-9000. We need the support. Everybody have something that they can just come and put in the cleaner. It will help us, strengthen us, so we can do more of the service. But the main thing we need at 10,000 Fearless, if people have canned goods or any clothes in their closet they're not using anymore, they can take it out and bring it down. They don't want Joseph Boone, and they can see Brother Barry is always there waiting. Because our people need it. It's cold now.
Yes.
We need whatever they can give to us. We'll appreciate it.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm glad you mentioned it. I just pulled out a bag out of my closet yesterday, Brother Sharrieff. So I'll bring it by tomorrow.
Yeah, well, please,
Yeah, I forgot to throw it in the truck, but yeah, I pulled out some stuff that I know I'm not gonna wear anymore. So I'll see Brother Bishop Barry. I'm sorry, Senior Pastor Barry Muhammad on tomorrow.
And let me give you the phone number to 10,000 Fearless.
Okay.
you can call, because we always have people there 24 hours. 678-974-7514. 678-974-7514. And that's to the 10,000 headquarters.
I think, Brother Sharrieff, they missed what you said. You said it's open 24 hours.
Oh, yes, 24 hours.
And it's a major conflict resolution center, too. So,
yes,
especially those of you who are in the Atlanta area, even if you're not in the Atlanta area, you can still call that number and they have the resource to a similar type center in your particular city. But if there's something, you're having an issue with someone in the Atlanta area, this is a number that you can call, again, to get resolved in a civilized way.
Right.
In a civilized way, because one of our goals too is to keep as many people as possible out of the prison industrial complex.
Yes, that's the slave market.
That is the slave. Oh, and you're talking about billions of dollars that's involved because they get money from the state to house the prisoner, as well as they charge corporations market rate, but only pay the prisoner below slave wages. So that's how you come up.
Yeah.
You can come up like
and
that.
I want to say, what we're going to really have to start doing is that we really need our people to support us. We got to support each other, like you said. We can do much more than what we're doing if we just had the support.
Right.
And you know what we'll find out when we talk to people that give money to 501c to help people? They're giving money to people that the money don't go down.
It doesn't get them. Right.
So by the time they get to us, since they don't trust, although they put us in the same category, but we need the support so we can help our people, especially now, this area called the Bluff. Our people need help. And that's why they're angry with us over here, because we ain't going nowhere by the grace of God. We're going to look out for our people.
Yes, sir.
And that's why we need the support. If they will call in, give a donation, come by and help us, and we appreciate it. I don't care if it's $1. Send something to help our people.
Right. Beautiful.
Now, Brother Sharrieff, is there a way to donate online? Isn't there an online?
Oh, yes, ma'am. They definitely can go online. They can go to www.10,000fearlessofthesouth.com. www.10,000fearlessofthesouth.com. Or they can go to PayPal. 10,000fearless@gmail.com. PayPal. 10,000fearless@gmail.com.
Thank you, sir.
Drive by and look for Barry. Can't miss it. He'll be waiting on you.
Brother Barry.
Praise be to Allah.
Go ahead, Brother Sharrieff.
I also want to say, I want to bring this in at 10,000. At the Blue Seas Express every Friday now. We have poetry night and jazz night.
Oh, really? Okay, that's right down your boulevard, Sister Sharrieff.
Yes, sir.
Poetry and jazz. You can come over here every Friday evening at 7:30 and enjoy yourself.
Okay, wonderful.
You got to buy some food now.
That's all. I mean, but the prices are so reasonable here. That won't break nobody. So, and at 7:30 every Friday. Okay, y'all put that on your calendars. So when you come into Atlanta, you're planning out your trip in Atlanta. Make sure you put Blue Seas Express as on Friday nights as your place to go on Friday nights when you come to Atlanta. Any closing questions or comments, Sister Sharrieff?
Well, I did have a question. I know we at 7:35, but one of the questions that I wanted to ask Brother Sharrieff, and what is it that you learned? I know one of the things you mentioned is that never give up, right? Stay in the game. What is it that you have learned through the various business ventures that help to keep Blue Seas Express and Catering open? Because I think this has been open longer, right? Right. So what was some of the things that you learned from the other restaurant that was on the low?
That you don't ever just depend on one financial stream
of income. Okay.
Right. See, we got to do the catering. See, that helps. Then we bake the bean pie from here, ship it out everywhere.
Oh, wow.
See,
Gotcha.
so we got different streams coming in because our enemy now, if you notice over here, if you see out in the street,
Right, right.
2 years ago, that was only take 6 months in the street was supposed to be.
All right,
Right,
right.
right, right,
But if
right.
you come over here and look, they doing work on the other end,
Uh-huh.
but they're not doing anything on this end, and they got those
Barrels
barrels out there.
Okay.
I have to move them every day. I have to go out there because they put it right in the darn driveway.
Wow.
So
Right.
now against it. Now we going against the
Wow.
city. The city said they are immune. They're pursuing them to get any money, any compensation for them hurting business.
The business.
They know what they're doing out there. But so that's why those other streams of income is so important. Until they finish the street and the people really know that we are here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, ma'am. So
Wow,
it's
yeah.
real.
Look, and little subtle things too. Little things like that, like blocking the driveway. You know, to make people think that the place is closed.
If you go out there and look
Wow.
now, if you go, I stand outside, sometimes I get so angry. If I can stand outside there and see how many people pass by and they look over here and they think we're closed.
It's closed. Uh-huh.
But that they know what they're doing, but God is with us. And we're going to survive by his permission.
Fantastic. This has been absolutely awesome. Oh, wow. Any parting words, Brother Sharrieff?
Yes, I would love.
Oh, let me say that. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I failed to mention this in the introduction. Y'all see, he's also one of the sharpest dressed brothers. Look, the 3-piece double-breasted
right.
dress. Man, when I walked in and saw, like, oh my God, and was those Crocs
Oh, yeah, little cross.
with the matching shoes? Man, I want to grow up to be just like him.
See, the Abdul partner is our example.
Yes, sir.
By the grace of God.
Yes, sir. All praises due to Allah. But you were saying, did you have anything else, Sister Sharrieff?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm busy making sure that this information is actually in the Facebook feed so that people can make those donations, and we'll make sure that we, as soon as they take us out of Facebook jail, that we pass this on.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to say the 10,000 fields. We have over 100 centers around the country. And we work quietly though, but we
Wow.
very effective. We're very effective. And we have the food banks. What you don't know yet, in a few days, Don Farrakhan will be able to stand wherever he is and say that he's feeding the multitude for real.
Mhm.
Not only just the word, he'll be able to say we're feeding them with food.
Wonderful.
So we open the food bank all over.
Wonderful.
Feed our people.
Wonderful.
When was our home and you fed me not? See the scripture. We have to fulfill it
Mhm.
by the grace of God.
Absolutely. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you for sharing that information. Again, like the Sister Shareen's company is called More Awareness Now, and we use that mantra as part of our platform, as you so eloquently and graciously stated. We want to get the word out. That's the reason for this platform, is so that others will know that there are people out here doing things.
Yes, sir.
Some circles, I don't hear this much because the circles that I run in is different. Everybody's doing something. Everybody's productive. But every now and again, you'll run across, well, black people ain't doing this or black people can't do that. And I'm thinking that's not true.
No, it's not.
So that's what we want to do with this platform, to show that in every field of endeavor, we are there. And there's some people that are very successful in doing that. And thank you for being one of those prime examples
Praise
for
be
us to be able to showcase and to highlight.
And I like to say this also, do you have a place for the people to donate so you can keep on doing what you're doing?
What do we have, Sister Shareen?
Cash App.
Okay.
We have, okay, let me think. We have Cash App at Master Business. So Cash
That's
App.
$ Master Business.
Yes, sir. Cash
$
App,
Master Business.
$ Master
Let me
Business.
ask you, everybody that's listening right now, send a donation in the Cash App. Sister Shareen will give it back to you.
Master Business.
And Master Business. To
Right.
keep it going, send her a donation right now.
Oh, praises.
Oh, praises due to
We
Allah.
have to help each other.
Yes,
And
sir.
I don't
All
want
Praise
brothers
the
them to be non-productive because they need money.
Yes,
When you
sir.
out there listening, right now in the home of your home, go get your credit card out right now. Send that money
Beautiful.
right now.
Cash App, Master Business.
All praise is due to
Right now.
Allah.
I don't want you to even think twice. Just go do it.
All
By the
praise
grace
is
of
due
God.
to Allah. Thank you for that, brother
Yes,
Sharrieff.
sir.
Wow, that was
We gotta
beautiful.
support each other.
Absolutely. Because and we did, myself, Sister Shireen, and Sister Sandy, we make an investment for this
I
platform
understand.
so that we could
Yeah.
be more effective in our reach. There's some free stuff.
Because there's really a volunteer effort on behalf of the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, and this is our way of serving the Ministry of Trade and Commerce and bringing to us those who are in business. So because we just got tired of hearing we don't have any businesses or we don't support one another. And so instead of complaining about that, let's show that we do have businesses and we are supporting. And so
And I'm
all
thinking
praises
right now
to Allah.
again, everybody that listen to my voice, go to Cash App, go to Money
Dollar
dollar
sign,
sign
Master Business.
Master Business,
Mhm.
and send a donation so they can keep this show going.
all praise.
Praises due to Allah. You know, and that's why we mentioned earlier that, you know, a lot of times, like we mentioned, we talked about the one-time criticism, and I know we may see, oh, sometimes, you know, the green light, the fuzziness or whatever, you know, but it's one cameraman in here. I'm adjusting lights. I got this, I got that, you know, flipping the green screen projection, you know, all of that to make sure that to try to give us a quality show so that we can see what's happening. Brother Jaheed, he works on making sure that we have guests. That's why we push to pool resources and work together with like minds like yours so that you can maximize your efforts. Sister Sandy does what she does with the spiritual upliftment, making sure we tight and together, you know, in her Soul Wisdom International. So, you know, we work together to make this thing work. And
Yes.
looking at other programming that you may think is appearing, because what social media has done with the larger corporations in journalism as well as entertainment, if you will, have recognized that the social media platform is a platform that has drawn a lot of attention, and attention is the commodity. So when people pay attention, that's what gives you value in the social media world. So they now have these major shows that are being produced by, I mean, heavy hitters, and they have a episode budget of up to, you know, like I said, the Red Table Talk is $50,000 to $70,000 a episode. And I guarantee you this one is late. I'm finna tell you right now how much it is. How much is this budget an episode? $12.50.
$12.50, right, right.
$12.50 out of our hard-earned monies to run this episode. We have our dear sister Anissa, who's in the background, and she, you know, she's a writer for the Final Call, and she's the young sister who assists us with the tweeting. And so, you know, we do our best to take care of her each and every month. We owe her. We're gonna take care of you in 2 weeks, Sister Anissa.
You better take care after the night because
That's
they can
tonight, right?
Oh,
Praise
praise.
you know, but it's basically volunteerism, right? And so all of the businesses that get shine for being on our show, we work really hard to give us a platform, to give a following, to spread the word. And by the grace of Allah, since you're on, you know, we've had nearly 1,000 views already with the block. With the block.
Oh, praise to Allah. So
with the Facebook jail block, we said, you know,
that's right.
So we are excited for this opportunity, Brother Sharrieff, and we thank you.
Yes, thank you. You just don't know, brother.
Whatever I can do to support, I'm here to serve.
Right, for all that you do to inspire us. You know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said he wanted something, and you went out and moved out, made us proud in Atlanta. Atlanta got some heavy hitters now. You know,
Yes, man. That's
Shonda
right.
does not play. She, you know, and
Yes.
Brother Oliver is not playing. You know, so we're making sure that the world is, or the nation is revolving around Atlanta.
Oh, and last week,
All of you. So any of you who have a podcast, go on and step it up, make it happen. You know,
last week we had the
we're
regional
not in
secretary
competition.
on, Brother Sean.
What's that?
Last week we had the regional secretary on, Brother Sean.
That's right. And
Did
he
an
was
awesome
sharing
job, he
information
and
on
Brother Patrick.
finance. That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, Atlanta got it going on.
So thank you all. I really
Thank you, sir, again so
my honor
much.
to come on. Thank you all. So if anybody's hungry, don't forget to come by Blue Seas Express. We're here.
The bee soup is
Express.
absolutely delicious.
Yes, and Friday night is on and popping.
That's right. Don't miss Friday
You
night,
got to
man.
come through Friday.
Don't judge me now when I come through with my poetry. Don't judge me.
No. I'm gonna have Barry. I'm gonna have Barry get in touch with you right now, cause to make sure you on.
Yes.
No problem.
I
Yeah,
am the seed of greatness.
This Friday night. You make sure you gonna do poetry.
Yeah, she has. I am the seed of greatness. Yeah, that's
And
a
little
big.
Twinkie
big
did
thing.
you kindness.
All right, y'all,
Thank you,
business
Paula.
scientists. Thank you all so much. You have just witnessed this historical broadcast with Minister Abdul Sharrieff Muhammad, the Southern Regional Representative of the Nation of Islam, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And as Sister Canetta wrote in the post on Facebook, share twice. So you can always go back and look at this stuff. And remember, Sister Canetta has an article in the latest issue of the Final Call newspaper.
That's right.
on
That's right.
29. So you must watch that. You must get your Final Call, and you can also rewatch and share this broadcast. Thank you all so much. We appreciate everyone for your sharing. We appreciate everyone for your diligence in helping us spread the word. And this is Jahi, Mr. Communicator Muhammad. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Like Islam. Pop.